Welcome back to the philosophy of heavy lifting, where we try to clean up the mess left by centuries of loose thinking. Today, we are going to talk about the fallacy of subtraction. This is a brilliant takedown by Quine against anyone who thinks that meanings are real objects. Here is the argument philosophers often use. They say, look, if a sentence has a meaning, then there must be a thing that it has. There must be an object called the meaning, just like if a man has a car, there is a car. Quine looks at this and says, this is ridiculous logic. Think about the phrase, for the sake of. If I do something for your sake, does that mean there is a mysterious entity in the universe called a sake? Absolutely not. Or think about the phrase hunting for unicorns. If I am hunting for unicorns, does that imply that unicorns actually exist? No. The whole point is that they might not. So why do we assume that just because a sentence implies, meaning that there is a ghostly object called a proposition sitting behind it? This is the error of treating language too literally. We hypostatize or objectify things that are just manners of speaking. Quine argues that we need to stop whistling in the dark and get rid of these intensional objects. And by intensional objects, he means propositions, attributes, and relations. Let's start with translation. People say, we need propositions to explain translation. They say that the sentence in English and the sentence in French share the same proposition. But Quine says this actually makes things worse. Because, as we learned with the indeterminacy of translation, there is no single perfect match between languages. Positing a shared proposition creates the illusion that there is a perfect translation, which fosters a pernicious illusion of certainty. It hides the fact that translation is a messy, behaviorist approximation. Next, let's look at truth. Philosophers say we need propositions to be the vehicles of truth, because a spoken sentence is fleeting, but truth should be eternal. Quine says we can solve this without magic. We just use the eternal sentence itself. Instead of saying the proposition is true, we say the sentence, with all the dates and times filled in, is true. If you want to know what a person meant, just look at the eternal sentence they would have uttered if they were being precise. We do not need a middleman. We do not need a ghost called the meaning to carry the truth for us. Now, this purge gets even more serious when we look at attributes and relations. An attribute is something like redness or humidity. A relation is something like bigger than or father of. Philosophers treat these as intensional objects, meaning their identity depends on meaning. But Quine says these are just as bad as propositions. They suffer from the same identity crisis. When are two attributes identical? Nobody can give a straight answer without using the fuzzy concept of synonymy. So, Quine proposes a trade. Let's swap attributes for classes. This is a crucial move in modern logic. An attribute is a property, but a class is just a set of things. The attribute of redness is vague, but the class of all red things is precise. Classes are extensional. That means a class is defined solely by its members. If Class A has the same members as Class B, they are the same class, period. There is no metaphysical guessing game. This allows us to do math and logic without opacity. Remember opacity. It is when you cannot look inside a term. Class abstraction is transparent. We can quantify into it. We can say there is an X that is a member of Y without worrying about whether Y is defined by its essence or its accident. Strict logic loves classes and hates attributes. And for relations, we can replace them with classes of ordered pairs. Instead of the relation of loving, we have the set of all pairs of people, where the first loves the second. It achieves the exact same scientific purpose, but without the spooky baggage of intentional entities. Now, you might notice something funny. Quine admits he still uses words like meaning and idea in his own writing. Is he being a hypocrite? No, he calls this the grading of austerity. This is a very practical scientific attitude. It means that when we are just chatting or doing rough heuristic work, we can use loose language. We can talk about meanings and ideas because it is convenient. But when we get down to the hard bedrock of theory, when we are trying to explain the universe rigorously, we must tighten up. We must switch to the austere canonical notation. We replace meanings with stimulus-response patterns. We replace propositions with eternal sentences. And we replace attributes with classes. It is about knowing when to be casual and when to be a logician. So, the takeaway is this. Do not let grammar fool you into inventing ghosts. Just because you do it for the sake of something does not mean the sake exists. And just because you mean something does not mean the meaning exists. Stick to the concrete, stick to the extensional, and you will avoid the trap of the fallacy of subtraction. Thanks for watching, and let's keep cleaning up our ontology.